Okay, today I am working on my, this is my, well, third 1100 STX. I had an 1100 ZXI also. So I've worked on a few of these Kawasaki's, and I find that most of the, you have to go through the entire fuel system on these jet skis that have been sitting, because this is what you'll find. These are the fuel pickups. These are the fuel pickups, and I've just kept these for spare parts because, you know, you never know when you're going to need a little something off of these. But this is what you're going to find. These fuel pickup tubes that go down in there, they crack and they'll break off in your tank. And let's say you've got spark, you've got your tank full, you've got compression, but you can't get your jet ski to run. Well, this might be your problem, is that one of your pickups is broken. Like if you can get it to run on but not reserve, or vice versa, reserve but not on, then that pickup tube is broken or it has a crack in it. If it has a crack in it, it's just like you trying to suck soda straw, and the straw has a split in it. You just start sucking air, and it doesn't work very well. Well, this is what will happen, and your pickups will be down in the tank and broken off. Now, you can splice onto this with fuel line. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend going to a lawnmower shop, or, and I don't know that if they make replacement pickup tubes for these that you can buy. I haven't seen them, but they should. Now, on MacGyver's channel, he's shown one of these. There's an O-ring up underneath this piece, which you can actually pry off. He had a problem with that thing seeping as an O-ring under this circular piece. I haven't run into that yet. But this valve right here, this is your vent. There is a, this has a pointy tip and a spring behind it, and a little piece of rubber. And I've had that piece of rubber be pinched closed, and I've had to like poke a little tiny screwdriver through it to open it back up so that the vent would work properly. So that's a problem you can run into with these. I can blow through this one, so it's okay as far as this piece, but obviously needs new fuel pickups. And what holds this in are 4 stainless steel Phillips screws right there. I've already got two of these out on this ski because I'm working on getting it out. Another thing you're going to find, so I've got another one here to look at. I bought this, that's a spare from a junkyard, the jet ski junkyard over there. Love having that nearby as a resource. But these pickup tubes are in good shape, but the filters are trashed on the ends. So basically your tube is going to suck any garbage out of the tank right up in there. And so without putting some sort of filtration, you know, even if you bought a automotive sock style filter and put it on this tube with a clamp, I suppose that could work. I'm sure there's another way to use pieces out of a lawnmower or whatever to filter this, you know, pre-filter it before it gets to your fuel filter, that sort of thing. But anyway, this is what you're going to run into with these trashed out filters. I'm pulling this one to check it. And so in order to pull this, you've got, your tank is sitting in here. You can see there's the unit sitting right there. All right, you got 2 cables that run from this knob to the top of that unit. You can see where the cables are going in right there. There's 10 millimeter nuts. You got to loosen those nuts, and then it's easy enough to just kind of work the cables off. If you can't do it with your finger, I usually use a small flat blade to just kind of work them around the edge of that plastic and get them off. And it's not that difficult to put back in. It's certainly easier to connect the cables, you know, pull those cables, bring them this way, and then attach the cables or detach the cables after you've removed the 4 screws holding it to get it out. So let's get this one on out. I'll show you how I get to the screws. I've got this tank loosened already. I've pulled my oil tank right here. It's mostly full, and I use this high-tech device to keep oil from leaking out of it. So just having the tank out of the way makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to completely remove it to do this job, but since I'm going through this ski basically on a rebuild and a rework to sell, I go through things, try to be thorough so that I'm selling a good quality jet ski. Now, let's see if we got this. All right, I've already pulled the 2 stainless steel screws from this side. I've pulled the tank back. You know, I've got it where I can slide it. The tank just has the four bungee straps that hook in, and the glare is so bad I can't see. Those stainless steel pieces right there, you've got brackets, so you got 4 straps. Hold the tank in, just pull those bungees down and unhook the straps. Of course, the tank has to be empty or you're never going to move this. And pull it forward, and then get in there with your Phillips and get those 4 screws out. But it is easier to get to the 10 millimeters from working with the fuel tank from the engine side. And I found that the 2 Phillips that are still in, the cables, when they're above them, it pretty much keeps them from falling out. But you have an O-ring. I've seen it 2 types. There's an O-ring, sometimes it's a large O-ring, and sometimes it's a large flat rubber washer that's underneath that to seal that gas tank to keep it watertight. Make sure you don't lose that. I have done that before. You lose it down pulling it off, and it drops down next to the tank, or it goes somewhere. Things disappear in these holes. You will find that very quickly when you work on jet skis. So let's get this out and have a look at it. Okay, so you can see the pickup tubes are coming out. They don't appear to be broken. And you have to be careful with these. This is, be gentle with that part. And you can work it out and pull it on back. Just pull it out from this side and work it back. Come grab it from the other side is what I'm going to do. And then I'll inspect those screens. You can see my O-ring has already dropped. The one I was telling you about, don't lose your O-ring, because that has to be on there to seal that onto the tank. But it's already dropped down around the filters there. That's that black ring that you see right there. All right, I'm going to get it out and we're going to look at it. Okay, here it is. These are in stellar condition. No cracks in my tubes or my pickups, and my filters are beautiful. I don't even know that these are original. They may have been replaced once before, but I'm very happy with these. Just like on the last STX I worked on, they were in good shape. So these are in great shape, and I want you to notice I've got this completely upside down. Because the cable's still on, it doesn't lose the 2 screws. See that? So I want to check, I'm going to check this. This is your vent. And it's one way, so blows through, but if you try to suck back on it, it shouldn't allow anything to come out. And this one doesn't. So my vent is working properly. I don't have to do anything else with this. I was able to get it out. You see, I turned the tank on its side, tilted it to pull this one out, because you don't want to do too much bending on these. They get brittle as they're older, but this one is in really great shape. This is not a part of this ski that I'm going to have to worry about, and I'm very happy for that. But I just took a little extra time to check this component because I've had problems with these in the past.